Thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of the Bloody Legends with Jai That Aussie Metal Guy and Jim Taylor. Make sure you're a bloody legend and hit that like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the great content from these bloody legends. Okay then. G'day, how are you all going? It's time for another edition of the Bloody Legends with myself and my amazing co-host Jim Taylor, all the way over there in the US as he's frozen and he works his way back into it. This one, we do have special guests later on in the show. We do have Scott and maybe a couple of the guys from Hollywood Nightmare who are due in to talk about their latest single, V.B.E. But me and Jim wanted to do this at least once a week, starting to do a roundup show and to catch up with everyone, let everyone know what is happening. Here we go as Jim drops back in as I finish my very long-winded intro. Just a little bit.
I am so sorry.
Do not be sorry. I was just doing the
half a world away, man.
Half a world
There
away. We're doing okay.
Hello.
There we go. There's
I'm
my
so
co-host,
sorry,
Jim
dude.
Taylor. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. This is, of course, the Bloody Legends. We are going to have a little bit of a catch-up before Scott and a couple of the guys jump in from Hollywood Nightmare. I want to try and do this at least once a week. Get in and do this.
Hate the world.
There we go. As we kick back into recording with my extra long intro there, I did want to do this catch-up, Jim, a little bit more organised as we lead into it. But I wanted to catch up on a few things that have been happening through the week and hopefully and through the last couple of weeks, and hopefully your net stays stable enough for us. I do want to show people what you kind of do in your spare time. I hope so, because we're recording again. There we go. Okay, back into it. We need one of those SpongeBob technical glitches. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Yes.
We'll get right into this, though, because I don't want to chew up too much time before Scott gets in. We do have a few things to talk about. But something I wanted to talk about is a couple of things that you do. And I did get to send this photo, the IMDb people. You can find Jim Taylor over here. So tell us a little bit about, for people who don't know, what you kind of do for your work.
Well,
soundtracks.
This means a lot to me, dude, and I wasn't expecting you to do this, so you caught me by surprise.
Exactly, I wanted to surprise you.
It's kind of terrifying, but for the last, I'd say, 15 years, I've been scoring sci-fi, horror, whatever you need. And it's the same way I write with any band I'm in. I like writing soundtracks, and I've always wanted to do that as a kid. And that's a hell of a thing to see your name and credits on the Internet Movie Database. I want to thank my good buddies in the Buffalo area, Sam Qualiana, John Renna, Jason V.B.E. I feel like I won an Academy Award and I don't deserve it. And I was gonna say actually Vault of Terror 2, The Undead, that's a short that was actually shot in Australia. And I did the sound effects for that. I'm looking at all these and it's a heck of a thing to look at that. And I didn't know you were going to do that, so you kind of caught me off guard. But doing sound, it's really, I'm just so fortunate. And doing what I do with bands, I'm so fortunate to do this with you, man. I love you, brother. And
how did you originally get into it, though? Like, it's you were doing music. Tell us, like, kind of.
Well, it was I had it in my head for years that I just kept writing these soundtracks to non-existent films. And it was actually my good friend from college and my fraternity brother, Harper, that was like, hey, brother, can you listen? I'm co-producer on this horror movie shooting West Virginia. Can you write a soundtrack? And I was like, I almost, pardon my French, I almost shit out of my ears because I was like, I've been waiting for this. and I scored it, and shout out to Eamon Hardiman. Um, I haven't seen him in ages, and I want to send this to him. He was like, Jim, I know we told you um, we need this in a month or two. We actually need it in 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, okay. And it, I was like, I wasn't afraid of that, but I was like, oh shit, I need to completely envelop myself into this soundtrack because they actually got a distribution deal from, I believe, Troma. So who did you remember the Toxic
Yeah,
Avenger
Toxic Avenger,
and all? Yeah,
Nukem
yeah.
High, and things like that. I
Nukem
think.
High, right? So that's where we were heading, and I was like, oh shit, that's a big deal, But and that was yeah, about 15 or 16 years ago, and then from there, I just started contacting people who were peripherally involved with the movie because they not only starred in it, they had acting credits, but they also were producing their own movies. And I said, look, if you need anything, um, I would be honored to, you know, do this.
Yep.
And that's where it's led me, these last 15 years. And I couldn't be more appreciative. And at the same time, if they need anything on a dime,
Yep.
it's
Zero.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You can find a
and it's
couple
the
of them
same.
over on Tubi, I think, at the
They're
moment
on
as well.
Tubi.
Yeah.
Lake Effect. I believe Vault of Terror 2. That anthology is on there, and then Post Apocalyptic
Post-apocalyptic.
Commando Shark.
Yeah, man. Best watch with a
So
nice bowl of weed, dude.
I was gonna say, man, nice IPA and maybe some herb, man. You have a good time.
And I suppose it's like anything you do, it kind of rolls into you meet more people the more you're doing it. I know with this
Oh,
side of
oh,
thing,
for sure.
music media, you kind of start out doing one interview and then that kind of rolls into
Yeah.
another, then it kind of fucking before you know it, you're
And
chatting to
well,
people all over the place.
to be honest, this is actually the first time I've actually been interviewed about doing my soundtrack stuff. So
Yeah,
I couldn't
nice.
think
No,
of anything
I want to
cooler
do this more
than
often
my
for the
co-host.
people that watch it, do watch the podcast here, and I will get more
Yeah.
organized people and have notes laid out. But I do want to do a catch up once every 1 2 weeks, talk
We
about
need
what
to,
we've
man.
both doing, because we're both fairly
Yeah.
flat out. People may see us just from this podcast, but you're also doing what you're doing with Len. You're playing
And you're
weekly gigs pretty
and
well.
you're doing what you do with Cranium and Crank, dude. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
man, that's been a lot of fun. New station, I was with TMS, but I'm now over with the Legends at Cranium Radio, and that's actually been
Oh,
a lot of fun to kind of get back into that. I didn't do as much as I'd liked last year with everything else going on, so being able to kind
it's
of
a new
dive
year,
back,
brother.
yeah, new year, and then I've signed up to do another show as well. I've got one called Australian Made coming in about 2 weeks. I'll start over on
So
craniumradio.com.
I need to write you another intro.
Yeah, that's it. And that one's going to be strictly Aussie music with bands from New Zealand as well. So
Dude, I love it.
that'll go
I
for
love
3 hours on the Wednesday afternoon evenings in the US, EST, US Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then I, of course,
Wonderful.
do the heavy shift as well. I've got another one. I'll try and find an image for that one called the heavy shift if people haven't seen that
Indeed.
one. That one,
Indeed.
yeah, you've done an open for that one as well.
Oh, dude,
That that
I
one's
apologize for taking a minute on
no,
that.
that one's late.
There it is.
That one's late Friday night, early Saturday morning over in the US, and that one I do have interviews, like and lots a whole lot of new music from like Nuclear Blast, Season and Miss, Napalm, all those labels who send me a
Indeed.
whole shit ton of great stuff, which is a lot of fun. Met some great bands. I got to fucking have a chat with Korpiklaani through the week. Sammy from
Yeah.
Korpiklaani as well, dude. That one was an absolute ripper. They have that track. I won't play any sound for it, people, because you can jump over and the Aida track, man. that
I was
one,
gonna say
yeah, dude. That one's dope, man. I'm not sure. I won't play it. Sammy,
that's
there he
rad.
is. Yeah, that's who I got to
There
chat
he
with,
is.
dude. Yeah, man. He's an absolute gun on this album. The Run Karampu, I think is the name. I probably annihilated it, absolutely annihilated it. Go back to my notes. Yeah, Run Karampu. He was pulled me up a couple of times. He was really cool to chat with Sammy. Comes out April 5th through Nuclear Blast,
That's
which is an
awesome.
absolute ripper. Another band that we both know, I met through you. I will kind of play it, pause it. You might see it. People, you'll have to type this in because I'm not sure how much I can play before getting
Mm,
flagged, but it's all there.
yeah,
Um,
right.
there you go. You'll know these guys.
Modern Mimes, man.
How good
Modern
it,
Mimes. I want to hit them up again, man. This is a great single, "Roses in Ruins."
that's a killer track as well. I did
Yeah,
play that up on the show
they are.
over the
We
weekend
had
as
a
well.
blast with them. That was so great talking to them. They are so not only down to earth, but like to watch them play live, man. He played so hard. If I can embarrass uh Ernesto for a hot second, he played so
So we have Jim come back in. I do have this people as well. The Modern Mimes interview, everybody. If you'd like to go check that out, I did get a chat with them about 7 months ago. Um, let me see. Cut to a bit.
Yeah, I mean, so funny enough,
There we
we
go.
actually started as a duo.
People.
We're from the Fort Lauderdale, Florida area, and it just kind of came about where like
there you go.
we were just like, oh, let's just kind of write some songs and see what happens, and maybe
There we go. As we we're cutting in, that was them when we had a chat with them. That was about 7 months ago. Do you believe it or not? Absolute ripper chat as we still have technical difficulties there, but that is all good because we will have Scott jumping in from Hollywood Nightmare people. Their latest track, V.B.E, is an absolute bloody ripper. I am gonna play a little bit of a the video, but I won't play the audio people. Um, Hollywood Nightmare, V.B.E. Definitely a lot heavier. Really, really cool. I have interviewed them twice before. Metalcore band out of Hollywood. Looking forward to having a chat with Scott, and I'm not sure who else is going to be jumping in, Jim, but we will find out when they jump in. Um,
Beautiful.
should be quite fun. We're going to roll with this, dude. And we now have Scott and Luke from Hollywood Nightmare in with us. I did get to chat with the guys probably about 7 months ago, and then probably 2 years, I think, ago as well, or a year and a half ago, something like that.
something like that.
Always a pleasure. We had a
Yeah.
little bit of feedback on your computer from me, my friend. Thank you for joining us, chatting about the latest single, V.B.E.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you guys are incredible. I like
Thank
this new single. It is so, I don't have the words for it. It is so catchy and so brutal at the same time. Um, uh, Talk about the writing process if you want to dive into that.
Well, yeah, basically this single we want to try something a little bit different since we are used to have big courses and like more like post-hardcore and metalcore kind of sounding thing, and just feel like I want to switch it up. It's been 5 years of doing the same type of music, and
Right.
honestly, like the goal of this is trying to get some kind of endorsement with some guitar companies. That's why I make it extra heavy and like extra riffage on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big part of it. He would tell me that this song was mainly just him pushing himself to see how gnarly he can shred. And
Success.
he did.
Success. Yes.
Yeah.
Success.
And then I came into it kind of like, oh, let's add some breakdowns. And I like breakdowns a lot. So I'm the one that always like, oh, let's go heavy here, let's go heavy there.
Sir.
So that combined, you had some pretty heavy spots and then just a lot of shredding throughout. So it was definitely fun to write and create.
Tell us a little bit about the film clip you've got for it as well. It's got a really cool intros there, and right as Kyle kind of just flips the table, it just goes heavy as bloody hell.
That so yeah, so we DIY'd that. We filmed all that on our phone. I kind of took like, hey, let's do this. Let's make a music video. It doesn't have to be a bunch of money put into it. Like, let's just see what we can do on our phone. So that was that.
Surprisingly, it turned out extra good, and it's like probably the most viewed music video that we ever put out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love the card playing, man. That's
the card playing and the gold chain with the little bit of
right.
the sleazy gold chain and the couple of buttons undone as well. Nice look there, man.
Yeah, we were like, because the whole song is about kind of being done wrong, you know, having someone do a wrong towards us, and we were like, all right, well, let's make it extreme, you know, like if we were like a mobster type of people, like what would we do? And so we kind of just played off of that whole idea and went like, all right, let's go like do a hit on whoever, you know. So that was the whole premise of it.
It's so well done. Like it was cool. Like the gambler thing and all that, like Jai was saying, and then like the brutality that you guys have had. Like the riffs are so. I was background here in my house. I was like jamming guitar, and I was like, man, this is just riffing, you know. And sir, man, like both you guys, the brutality, the melody, and if you're not nodding your head to this, you're in a coma. I'm sorry, not to be like, you know, kind of weird about that, but it just, you just have that groove is intense. So like, where do your influences come from as far as that kind of sound? Because I can hear pop music in this, I can hear deathcore in what you guys do. Where do you guys come from?
For me, on this singles particularly, I think very heavily influenced by Born of Osiris, Jason Richardson.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Reflections.
Yeah. For me, I love a lot of death metal, just brutal breakdowns. And then the vocalist and I both really like melody and, you know, singing. So just all of that combined, a combination of, well, I guess not in this song too much. This song was just pretty much
straight up brutality.
Yeah. But anyways, you know, we like melody, and then, which I guess would have come through with the synths and all the background elements of the song. But yeah, definitely I guess the brutality aspect is influenced a lot by me. And but as far as bands go, I'd say like Chelsea Grin, Darko US,
Lorna Shore.
Yeah, Lorna Shore.
Lorna Shore,
just kind of that
absolutely.
Whole side of things.
How's it been? Sorry,
go ahead.
Jim,
No,
I want to ask, how's it been going kind of a little bit more your own route and having that DIY? And Scott, you've always got your finger pretty close to the pulse of what's going on everywhere 100%. As well. How's it been for you to kind of take a little bit more control and go DIY on this and have a little bit more of that heavier sound? And is this something you want to explore more of as well?
Yeah, like as the band has been progress throughout the years, and I feel like the heavy part of the aspect is the area that we're lack of. We don't have too much of those heavy songs. So I want to emphasize on that part of the genre and explore and experiment with different stuff.
Yeah, well, you've been known primarily as that metalcore band. It's great to see these different influences coming in. As I said, we had a chat a couple of years ago, so I've been kind of keeping up with you guys and following your tracks as it's gone over the years. And for me, it was really fun to hear this track. You know, not only to see the growth in you guys as a band in general, but to kind of have that bit of stability going forward for you as well, Scott, with Hollywood Nightmare and the group of guys you do have around you now. It seems to be really clicking, and it must be exciting for you going forward, being able to kind of go, oh, now I've got this solid lineup. We can progress a little bit more, have a little bit more of the heavies. We're all getting comfortable with each other. Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that? How's it feel, man? How's it feel for you to have that a little bit more comfort and stability in the band, and, you know, to see the growth and the evolution of you guys over the couple of years?
I would say it's more like a learning experience. Like the further this career, the more I learn from the friends. Also, the trend has a lot. It plays a big part of like our style, the songwriting as well. Because Knock Loose, Lorna Shore is getting more and more popular nowadays, and it would just be not smart to not to have a piece of that cake.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of it is we kind of optimize workflow a lot because it's been pretty close to the same lineup since, you know, way back in the day. Given, you know, some members here and there moving on, but none being really core members. So like him and I have done a lot of like he does a lot of his own production work and mixing and mastering. That's a lot of stuff that we're doing in our upcoming projects. And like I said, like I took the lead on making this music video, and so like that combined has given us kind of a much better, I guess, setup. I don't know what the word would be, but like a setup, like we're pretty much a pretty solid team as it is.
Right.
And when it comes to production, and I feel like we've just figured it out a little better as opposed to back.
I feel like you guys have a massively awesome DIY aesthetic. And like it was funny as I listened to you guys and all that. You're on Encyclopedia Metalum, which is like, you know, like that's a cool thing to have and all that. But like the way your videos were shot, not just the, you know, the visual aesthetic, but like the way you guys sound, I was like, this is raw. This is dudes just swinging for the fences, and it's so much more than melodic deathcore or metalcore. Your musicianship is amazing, and I just wanted to convey that. And
these guys were at NAMM as well, weren't you? With just about everybody else. So I fucking knew at the time as well. Did you go do NAMM this year as well? What was that like? Everybody, just about everybody I bloody knew was there as well, except for me. I was back home, of course.
Yeah, everybody was at NAMM this year, and I met a bunch of really cool people, and just talking to everyone, and it really opens up the opportunity, and also inspires me musically. Just seeing everybody have their own thing going on, and they've been doing for like however long they've done.
Yes, sir.
And obviously, everyone there is like extraordinarily good, you know.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, guys. Okay, we're gonna let you get about it, guys. Links, hit us with your links. We need links for people to go support Hollywood Nightmare as well. Where's the best place everyone can catch you guys and throw down some love and support for Hollywood Nightmare?
Everything is on Spotify, Apple Music, depending on where you guys like to listen. And then, you know, as well as YouTube, all our music videos are up there. Check us out. You know, give us a follow on Instagram. We're always posting all the next up and coming, you know, stuff that we're working on, that we're doing, any shows that are coming up. And and Facebook too. You know, we're
Awesome.
yeah, try to be everywhere.
Yeah, just literally everywhere that you can find. Like Google us.
Yeah, and just Hollywood
yes, sir.
Nightmare. You know, we'll be there.
That's it. And go buy a ton of merch. Last word, shout outs, anything else you just want to chuck in there?
I mean, you know, stay on the grind, keep going, and you'll get there
Yes, sir.
eventually.
That's it. Chuck on some Hollywood Nightmare, crank it up really bloody loud. The neighbors are going to want to hear it too. Cheers, guys. Have a lovely evening. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cool. Done.
Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof!